Yeah,
I
sure.
kind of like this basement thing. I don't know if that's what you wanted to go to, but I've been
I can be flexible.
I've been itching to
Okay.
go into this.
You're itching.
I'm
Oh, the
itching.
basement. Okay.
So
Yeah, you're being forced to spend the next 10 years in a basement. After those 10 years, you will receive $10 million. Your basement comes fully furnished with a good bed, a sink, a toilet, a shower, and a trash chute. You are also being given 30 points to spend on items and amenities that you can take with you into the basement. Bonus, if you half your $10 million payment to only $5 million, you'll get 35 points to spend. If you reduce the payout to nothing, $0 for spending 10 years in a basement, you get 40 points to spend. And then there's a whole list of items that have corresponding points that come along with them.
I've got the full kitchen for 6 points, a skylight for 2 points because I feel like you'd go insane without any of that. A garden for 2 points.
Garden.
Yeah, it's going to give you something to do, a sense of purpose.
Get the fuck out of here.
A workout room for 5, a cell phone that you can only use 1 day a week for 3, so you have some human contact. The TV for 7, and then I had 5 left, so I went with drugs. I assume everything's legal in here, so I'll do some drug experimentation for 10 years.
Yeah.
You might die.
I'm going with only $5 million. I'm taking the only $5 million on this one so that I have 40 total points. And that's going to allow me to have the gourmet kitchen, the television, that gets me to 13 points. The girl, that gets me to 31 points. And that gives me 9 points remaining. We'll take the drugs. And now I've still got 4 points remaining that I can be spent anywhere. I'm tempted to go with the phone because I'd like to talk to some people occasionally, maybe.
You need the phone. You'll go insane.
I think it's the phone. Let me just click a quick scan here, just be sure. Add all video games that have been released and new releases over time. Shit. Oh man, this is hard. I gotta have the girl, the TV, and
I feel like you need hygiene products though. You haven't added that yet.
No, fuck that. I'm gonna be smelly.
Here's my thing about the
smell.
hygiene products. You can dual use your fully stocked kitchen. I'll just take lemon juice showers and I can rub garlic on myself. Garlic and onions, they have antibacterial properties. I can use celery to brush my teeth or some shit, probably. I'll put guac on a piece of celery and by the end of it, I'll have like little baked bean teeth, like 9 of them.
Right.
This is so fucking hard because I really want the computer and the video games too.
You can't take the girl is the thing. Like the girl is too many points.
If you get the hygiene products, you also get a jacuzzi.
Can I tell you where I stand so far?
Yeah.
So I've got 5 points on gym, 3 points on hygiene product, 6 points on workshop, hoping I find some sanity in there. 7 points on money up front, 6 points on kitchen, and 6 points on computer, but that's 33 points. The computer is my phone replacement. Top line desktop computer. That's my everything, right? That's my gaming
But you
system.
don't have internet.
If you get your money up front, how are you going to do anything with it? How are you going to invest?
Well, that's actually part of the thing, and now I have access to the stock market.
You need internet.
Yeah,
it literally says now you have access to the stock market. Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, so the computer would just be for that.
Okay. Yeah,
you got one of those old school teletypes and a phone.
Dude, in 10 years, actually, I forget if it's 7 years or 12 years or whatever it is, but your money should about double while you're in there if you get it up front. So make it worth your while.
Yeah, but those 7 points. Yeah.
Well, what if you got 5 more free points? That doesn't work out because then you get. I'm like, but you can double your money for just 7 points if you cut it down by 5. But that doesn't. That's stupid. Never mind. I'm mad.
All right, I'm changing it. I'm getting rid of the girl.
Yeah, you got to get rid of the girl. I feel like the only easy choice in this is the full kitchen.
I want the full kitchen.
And the gym.
I need the TV, so that puts me at 13. I'm going to go with the computer now. We're replacing the girl with entertainment. Got to. So 13 plus the computer gets us to 19. Taking all the video games, that gets us to 23. And I have 7 points remaining. Let's take the drugs. And
you're going to want a skyline.
28. Now I've got 2 points remaining.
You're going to go 10 years with no vitamin D, no sunlight. What's the thing on here you can't imagine taking because it's so dumb?
Good question. Barry Bonds.
Yeah, but that's hilarious.
Okay. The gun's worthless.
I wouldn't take the gun or Barry Bonds Because like taking the gun is like
The
going into it
train.
with the attitude of you are potentially gonna fail.
A puppy. I would never choose the fucking dog because I'm
Oh,
gonna be in
that's-
the basement for fucking 10 years and shit everyone.
Yeah, and the
can't
dog
think of
dies
one.
at like the age of 8.5, and so you're just depressed as shit.
I'm stuck at 27 points. I got gym, hygiene, workshop, money, kitchen. That's 27 points.
Get the phone.
Yeah, phone.
I don't see a lot of value in a once a week one.
You're not going to want to talk to your wife or children ever again.
It's not a once a week; it's one day a week. So if you want, you can spend that whole day on the phone with your family.
I missed this one. The full model train set.
Yeah, that's really dumb.
Not bad. See, interesting. Because I find the full model train set, complete with warehouse-sized room to build it, to be roughly parallel, almost as good as the workshop and industrial tools and drawing table and supplies. Like they're the same category, but at 1/3 the points.
I also didn't notice the full warehouse thing, and so part of that is like buying the space. I think feel like a bigger area. I still would rather have the garden than that. Like feeling like there's life around you and you're having a direct impact on something. Like they give you something to do.
I didn't see the garden. Where is that?
It's in
Why
the
is 31
bottom
7
left next to the HD camera.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just feel like Barry Bonds should be like 3 points. Why is Barry Bonds 7 points?
Just the human contact is worth something. The audience can't see the bottom row.
Well, if you're just looking for human contact, then just get the doctor for 2 points or 3 points.
Yeah, you just have like Munchausen's, and so you're sick every day. And so you just make good friends with whatever the Indian guy's name is.
Does the garden with greenhouse is the same price as the skylight? So I would never get the skylight.
Yeah, I mean, you could grow food and shit.
See, I didn't
Grow
even pay
weed
attention
in
that
the
it had a greenhouse because I was thinking like they were a 1-2 punch. That if you were going to have the garden, you needed the skylight. All right, well, then I'll get rid of the skylight, and I'll have, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll take that model train set and eat my words.
That's not a bad choice. I really like the workshop. I feel like it has endless possibilities. I don't know that I could entertain myself with 10 years for it. Like,
Really?
A pool table would be
I'm not
depressing to play by yourself for 10
by yourself.
years.
I'm not disagreeing with your workshop idea, but just curious. Name a thing that you'd do.
with the workshop and industrial tools. See, here's the thing. What I would do and what I would aspire to do might be different things, right? I would hope that if I had this, did it say something about drawing tools and supplies? I assume they feed me all the things I want. Do you want to build a Stirling engine, however the frick that works? Yeah. You've got everything. Start milling it out. Teach yourself to be a metalsmith or like whatever. Like, what would I build? I don't know. First thing, I'm going to build an anvil somehow. I don't know how. The next thing, I'm going to start crafting knives and step my way up to building.
You can learn to blacksmith or something.
Yeah.
And something I didn't consider, when you have your 1-2 punch of the big warehouse for the trains and the workshop, you now have a big area to build stuff. If you don't want to, like, you just want to keep the trains to a side thing, you could build a whole,
the
warehouse.
Workshop, I assume, is, I don't know. I just had this idea that the workshop was your dream workshop, whatever you need. All the
I think
industrial
the
tools.
I think the gym's a huge waste of points.
Oh, hell no, dude. You're going to need to get all that angst out.
I'm going to change it and make it I stay me, but I get to add but I either keep my current intelligence and go to and let's just make it 0.1%. Like you are literally one of you are strikingly attractive. So that like if another man sees you, he's instantly like, well, God damn, those exist.
I'm going to go to a different bar.
I'm out. Like, did you see that guy? Yeah, his name's Kyler. Kyler. I
He's
didn't even know
not
it was a
just
real
taking
fucking
the
name.
hottest girl here. He's taking the top 10.
Yeah. Like in that situation, I think I'd rather stay my current intelligence, but become like the 0.01% attractive person, because I just don't know what I'd do with that intelligence. Like make wittier jokes. like I'm not going to become a neuroscientist or anything. That seems boring.
Right. I looked at the question.
Boring.
So the question originally, Taylor, was, would you rather be top 1% in looks or intelligence? And Kyle changed it to, which of your attributes would you change to 0.1%, looks or intelligence?
Ooh.
I could use a lot of looks, but I'm also not very bright. So we'll see.
Oh man, one of these categories is getting a major upgrade.
Yeah, one of them is going to be huge. If I make myself really smart, I'll understand even better how ugly I am. If I make myself really handsome, actually, no, I want to be hot. Fuck that. Yeah,
I'm torn on the hot thing because I feel like intelligence lasts longer, right? Like
being handsome would be dope.
But Brad Pitt, make him 46. Is he even that noteworthy? I mean, in person, I know they can dress him up in a movie with good lighting and makeup, but he's wrinkled, old, regular-looking person.
I mean, he's 55 now.
Oh, well, that explains why he looks so bad for 46. You know what? I'm going to upgrade intelligence because I feel like I could use a boost.
I don't know how old Brad Pitt is. I think you want to probably upgrade the looks.
Just one fades, that's all. And this is horrible to say.
Intelligence fades too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, looks fade. Looks fade on girls extra. Right? Like, because they just peak earlier. I feel like they're
like milk.
You can be a pretty good-looking 40-year-old dude, right? If you kind of keep it fit, like there's a kind of distinguished, good-looking older dude. I mean, there are some women.
Outliers, but
yeah, there's outliers. Sandra
they're
Bullock.
Asians, but
I was thinking of white girls, actually. Not all of them, but like Sandra Bullock was in my head, and Christy Brinkley aged
Demi
super well.
Moore.
Demi Moore is another
one. What's her name from Lord of the Rings? Galadriel, the Lady of Light. Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Okay. How old
Bette
was she
Midler?
in that movie?
In the movie, I would guess like 40.
I bet 30s.
They shone enough light on her though, and she looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, Lord of the Rings is almost 20 years ago now.
Damn.
That's crazy.
The first one. They took a while to do all three, right?
They released it every Christmas in 01, 02, and 03, I think.
Well, she's 50 now.
So she was around
30.
like
That's
34.
not even that hard.
Well,
Lots of 30-year-olds
35.
look
She was
good.
about 35 because it was about 15 years ago, I think, because
Okay.
when they wrapped up, they wrapped up around 03, 04, I think.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
looks thing, like I maintain, it's not that impressive to be good looking at 25. A lot of people are good looking at 25. Fast forward that to 45 and your numbers are cut substantially.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I'm pretty sure looks is the way to go.
Yeah?
Because what am I going to do with that intellect? What if it just makes me like really cynical and hate everything because I now understand
tweets every
so
mass
much better?
murder.
Yeah, just like or maybe you become so intelligent you become like a Ted Kaczynski kind of maniac, and suddenly you want to do fucked up shit. Huh?
I guess
That
I thought
could
I
happen.
would parlay that intelligence into money.
Yeah,
Parlay that those good looks into money.
Not without
Yeah.
intelligence, I can't.
sure you can.
I can parlay my good looks into getting taken advantage of.
That'd be fine. As long as you're also making money. Sure, let some big Hollywood mogul or whatever make a bunch of money off you. As long as you're along for the ride and everybody wants to fuck you, sounds pretty cool.
I
You could
guess
be a
I
male
was thinking
prostitute.
of not that much success.
I'm a bad dad now.
A bad dad.
Because
This is my boy.
if intelligence translates to money, and I know looks can too, then it's a much more durable thing. Maybe I'm looking at this through the eyes of a 46-year-old. You can still be smart into 50. I know it fades, but you can still be smart into 50. And you can still be rich until the end. Whereas looks, even the very good looking, that wears off.
Yeah.
Would you spin this?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'd spin it.
You did read it, right?
I read
Yep. That's only what, an eighth of it?
Yeah,
That
12.5%.
Yeah, 7/8 of the time I'm walking away.
Yeah, I'd spin that fucker.
One of them's 500K.
Yeah.
500K, it's a head start in life, but you're not done.
If it hit 500K, I'd spin it a fucking again.
Oh, really? You're going to go to
Yeah,
25%
and if it hit
chance?
500K a second time, I'd spin it a third fucking time. I would. And here's what I'm hoping. like I don't want it to be, I want it to be one of those things where like if it hits the red, that it's just like boom and it's over. I don't want it to be like, I don't want Bob Barker to come out of the shadows in a Satan costume and be like, red it is. And the whole crowd goes, red, 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 red. And they like drag me out.
Right.
And, like, put me up against the wall. And I'm looking
13
at all the
women in
demons
bikinis with
dancing
Bic
around.
lighters killing you very slowly.
I take it back. You know? As you're in a blind panic.
Big Wax,
Yeah,
Wax, would you spend this?
Nah. Hell no. I wouldn't. I don't mean to be fucking corny, but the greatest gift you have is your life. I wouldn't trade it for any. Fuck no.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Just because you have $10 billion doesn't mean you're gonna be happy.
No, it means that all the people I don't like will be unhappy. Finally.
You can't buy happiness, but you can rent it for a lifetime.
You can buy a lot of unhappiness for those you don't care for, though, and that's what I'm going for in life. That's my motivating factor. So I'll spin that fucker as many times as it takes. Yeah, I'd spin it. What 12.5%? Is that what you said? 1 and 8, 896 point. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'd spin it. Fucking 1/8 of the time you're not gonna make it. That's better than if I just from then on, if I swear off driving for the rest of my life, I probably even out. You know what I mean? I like to think of money as like things you can do with it or purchase with it rather than just a dollar amount, because that's not as attractive. But you know, you see something like let me pay attention.
So
here.
I did
What
a
was
thing.
the big one was 10 billion. Oh man, I didn't even know.
Go,
that.
Billion.
Oh, I think I pasted the year. Go there, right? And on the right, there'll be a random number between 1 and 100.
Yeah.
Click
Make it 8.
No, just click it and see if you get, 12 or lower, or 13 or
85.
lower.
I am in the green with a lot of dough.
65.
Yeah? 65? What are you getting, Wax?
I don't. It didn't. Random.org. Where do you click to actually get the number?
Top right,
Yeah,
there's a box
got
there.
you.
Already dead.
Gotcha. I got 50.
50.
Really?
50.
So
I got 50 even. That seems a little bit like. That's weird.
Right down the
I
middle.
got 80. So if I were to just look at this thing and assume like the first 12 was the death, I think I got 100 million out of this.
Yeah, I think I got $1 billion.
Yeah.
No, $10 billion. If you go through, so no,
that-
one.
And what we
you
could
got
do
1
is,
billion.
like,
I think I did too.
Here's what I would agree with you guys is we would all spin it one after another, and we would split the money among the surviving members.
Of
When you
course
start
you like that
calculating
plan, 'cause
those
you only have
odds,
5
all of a
million.
sudden- yeah, you start calculating those odds, and all of a sudden this pie looks a lot nicer.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we'd have to have a rule of like, all right, when we get
Because
to
it's 50-50 that one of us isn't even going to make it.
yeah, but if you did it like, if we did it a smart way, and we're like, all right, we start with the elder, and he spins, and then as soon as we get to 100 million, we quit and split it. Enough to live your whole.
No, that's no fair. You're going to spin if I spin. I'm not going to spin till 10 billion, and you take your quarter of it, and you're like, whoo, glad I didn't have to spend. No, if we get 20 billion, we'll get 20 billion, but you're spinning.
Yeah, I love
What
Marcus'
if we share-
plan.
what if we
Let's start
share-
with Woody. I'll go last, and we split the money.
Why would that?
the-
You would once be that member in the plan as well, the safe one.
I thought we started with the elder.
Like, if one of us gets the red, we all get one leg cut off.
No. I don't want
yeah.
to play that game either.
Kyle has a thing. Yeah, he'd rather be dead than not have a leg.
Yeah.
I get that.
Would you rather be dead or not have a leg?
I'd rather not have a leg, but I certainly get it. Especially a quick shot to the head, or a quick beheading, or or just take a bunch of heroin and they'll throw you off a building or something like.
Ooh.
But
the
now
speed?
Dinner and a show.
I have a friend who had her foot amputated, and she says now that it's the best thing that ever happened to her.
Why?
She had like a club foot before.
Unless she has an extra
She had a
foot,
foot.
then I seriously doubt that.
I think she's dating a pervert.
She had a foot, and she got in her circumstances. She had a foot. She had everything. She had a normal human body.
Okay.
Yeah. She got into a motorcycle accident, and her ankle got all crushed. And for 10 years, trying to heal it, she was in pain for 10 years, and she had addiction problems and just constant pain. She had to do like 30 different surgeries. And then one day they just amputated her foot and the pain went away, and now she has a prosthetic limb and she's learned to use it. Now she works with people with prosthetic limbs, and she says her life is better than it's ever been and it's more rewarding than it ever was.
Did she have
be
her
okay
act
if I-
together before?
You were going to say okay with a prosthetic.
I was gonna say I'd be okay if like if I lost my left arm, because I feel like maybe we could replace that with some sort of a gun arm. Like it would have some sort of offensive capabilities. I don't know what, but I'm imagining that when I twist it in a certain way, that it's just going to start shooting a machine gun out of my arm. That's going to be a thing.
Those video ideas are endless.
Yeah, I've always thought that, if you get injured, all of a sudden I'm in a wheelchair. It's like, hello, my friends, as if it's Russian, like wheeling in there with like some rockets or something, or if I got a cast on with a machine gun
explosives are coming back to the channel, so you don't know how it could happen.
Start launching. Oh yeah, I was watching those Battlefield videos. They put in Battlefield, they've always put C4 like under vehicles and stuff and launched them. And I was like, ooh, let's do that in real life. That'd be cool because Battlefield 1's coming out and everything. But yeah, I'm real weird. It's not just a vanity thing. It's also like, man, are you telling me that there's going to be a chapter of my life here at 30 years old where I'm going to start learning to walk again? That sounds rough. Like I got enough shit going on that I want to take care of without learning to walk again. Let's just start over fresh. I'm putting all my money on reincarnation.
I'm going to name a body part, and you tell me if you would rather die,
scrap it, or keep going.
Scrap it or keep going. Front section of your nose.
Scrap it.
Just kill yourself at that point.
Dead without your nose?
Yeah. Unless the doctor tells me they can fix it and make it look normal again, you can't get any pussy without any nose. You start looking like Tyrion in the books. You're getting laid after that. No.
Half man.
If you look like Skeletor with just a hole right here, and it's always whistling and stuff, and every time it rains, you got to put your nose umbrella on so you don't aspirate. Fuck all that. Kids are terrified of you. They cry when they see you.
What's the HBO gangster show where the guy's got a messed up face?
Yeah, Boardwalk Empire. The werewolf.
Yeah.
He's missing this whole jaw, and it's all weird, and like he's got this face mask thing. Like, no, none of that. Like, I gotta have a nose.
Like, one of the first things I think about all the time in like a time pausing scenario is like I have a bank robbing fantasy. I don't even know how I'd get into it.
Taylor, there's no money in the bank.
It would be fun to rob a bank or rob anything. Like
the cash card.
There's not enough to go get. Like there's.
I have infinite time. I can hit this bank. I can hit that bank. I can drive to a new city and hit that bank. I can do whatever I want.
Enough. I don't know how much money do you think is in the bank. I'm just calling it
like a regular bank on the street.
Yeah,
cash.
Not a ton.
$250,000, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that's like
that.
Yeah. I doubt there's that much though. Like at a big bank, like because I know if you show up and ask for like 50, they're like, oh, let me call Jim. Like what? What are we calling Jim about? Is he the one that counts my fucking money and gives it to me?
Well, Jim's going to decide if you can make the down payment on this house. Yeah.
It's not that. You're just trying to get your money, like trying to withdraw cash.
Oh,
like
okay.
I've never pulled out 50, but I've pulled out in the neighborhood of 10 a bunch of times because I was buying motorcycles. And, they don't really even pay much attention to you. Like, how much? I'm like, 9,600. Oh, like, I am not interesting when I remove $10,000 cash. So that tells me they must have 50, 70, 100 back. Like they've got cash.
Yeah, that's true. That's
especially
true.
Like I know that season. They gotta have a lot.
I don't know.
Some people pay
that's not the money that they give you if you withdraw money though. Like the money that they're taking in is in a different pile. Like they wouldn't take that money that's coming in on deposits and turn around and hand it right back to you. I bet it goes somewhere, gets processed, right?
Mm-hmm. No, I think it's the same pile. I think that's what's caused all of our prior collapses, right? They overlend as like a percentage.
But I think they never literally those bills.
Oh, like
don't they just remove them from
the literal
circulation
paper has to go somewhere. Because the money that comes out of the ATM is always nice. A bank's never handed you a crumpled $5 bill.
Okay, fine.
Crisp shit.
Well,
how about this? You don't rob a bank. What is you pause time and you get unlimited time? What is the best thing to like? And I'm thinking like Skyrim style. Like maybe it would be Buckingham Palace.
I got the answer.
I go in and I can just steal anything.
I got it. Nope, I got it. All that shit's non-transferable. It's a classic thing. Oh, really? Who do you sell your jewels to?
Oh, I just have it now. I just have the crown jewels.
Oh, well, enjoy your jewels. You're
I take all the
fancy headdress.
No, I melt all the gold down and then I sell that.
Do you know what? I mean, gold's what, $2,000 an ounce? Like, oh, we've come away with this international scheme with, wow, the vacation actually ate away at most of our. We made we made $1,800.
The flights to and from Buckingham Palace made up most of our profits.
20,000 in travel.
Turns out melting down all their rings doesn't get me that far.
I'm like, Kyle Woody, I'm upside down on this time pausing robbing experiment. I need you to get me out of this.
Rewind. Hit rewind.
You're right. He's
No.
gonna time travel.
So the only place I know where you can get currency, which is what you want, because again, it's that classic thing. What are you going to do with the like crown jewels? Who are you going to sell them to? You know,
Right.
nobody will touch you. They'll turn you in.
Mona Lisa.
The reward will be worth more than they could
Gold.
ever have to give you anyway, unless
I
you
swear.
are that guy who knows the billionaire, and that you're not that guy. But if you pause time and you walk into a casino and you just take a whole bunch of chips, that's transferable money that you can show back up with a year and a half from now and cash in.
Yeah. You'd have
I
Are
to.
don't
some
know
of the
if that's
chips
true.
digital now, though? Like, don't some casinos have chips they can track in some
Oh,
capacity?
that would ruin the spirit of it, I feel. I'm
Well-
not a gambler,
well,
but I wouldn't like that.
They don't not in such a way as they would be like, oh, this is the chip that was stolen on like
Okay.
the chip
not that
stealy day, and like you could, if there's millions of dollars just sitting there, just millions and millions of dollars just sitting there, and you could just show up and like cash in $100,000 whenever you wanted to. You could just have a big stack of them back home.
If I was a
Imagine the
casino
chaos in the
and someone
casino if you get
stole-
greedy and you steal all the chips.
I
All
would.
of a sudden
I'd
you're
take them
playing
all.
and all the chips just disappear.
That's here's
Exactly,
what I would
Drifter.
do.
You'd have to be measured.
I would change the chips we use. You know, it wouldn't be a huge investment to make all my whatever $1,000 chips from blue to green. And now, when someone shows up with the blues that we know were stolen, we look closely at them.
Yeah, I feel like that's an even worse idea than just robbing a bank. Like a casino.
Robbing a bank, dude. If you can get, in Kyle's estimate, $250,000. Let's say Kyle doubled it and made a mistake, and it's an eighth of a million. Then shucks, you can rob 3-4 banks, and you're really set for
You
a
can
while.
rob as many as you please. You're
Yeah.
pausing time.
No,
Right?
that money has numbers on it. I
He's
feel like if
probably
you steal
right.
I feel like those bills have numbers on them. They have serial numbers. Poker
All right.
chips
Here's a
don't.
I
thought.
got a crazy
It
idea.
doesn't matter if we
You
get
rob a
caught.
bank.
It doesn't matter if we get caught, because as soon as they come to like apprehend me, I stop time and go somewhere else.
Just
I
leave.
stop time, and you know what I do? I switch my outfit with one of the cops, and now I'm like arresting this guy. It's like, shut up! Stop with your conspiracy theories. I'm not you.
I think for some reason I have the thought
Like
that
Joker.
your best case scenario is to get like the $8,000 or $11,000 that's in the drawers out front that no one really knows about, that isn't
Okay.
traceable.
Mhm.
But I think if they've got funds in there that's like those clean bricks of money that like came from the Federal Reserve, they're like, yeah, those are bills 8,000 through 9,000 B. Just keep a lookout for those, and then all of a sudden they have this map that starts glinting and lighting up little red streaks as you buy groceries. And they're like, all right, he shops at Publix. They're waiting outside.
As
And
an
then I just
alternative to
pause
banks,
time again.
what if you
Okay.
robbed gun shows? Like cash only big fancy gun shows or car shows.
Okay,
Oh,
those,
like
those
some-
bills are not tracked. I like where your head's at here. I like
And
that.
you can also just take the guns, which again have value
there a
in
lot
and
of money?
themselves.
I can only
Uh,
carry so many guns, but
There's just we're missing something. There's somewhere where there is cash on the table that isn't accounted for.
We're gonna kick
Don't have to
ourselves. There
trade.
has to be an obvious answer. If you can pause time, there has to be something that's great to rob, and you just keep fucking poking holes in all the fun.
Well, I'm
You
just
can
saying
steal
it's,
government hard drives.
it's hard to do crime.
Tell it to.
Oh, let's get it.
It is too hard to do crime. We need to make it
You
easier
picked
again.
that's worse than jewels. Government hard drives. Now I have to
Ooh.
find bad people to sell my things to. Now I'm a traitor.
Although
That's-
Zach
that's
has a great
definitely-
idea. Steal somebody's crypto ledger
Oh,
I don't know
wanna
where they would
thieve
even
from
keep
a
that.
person though.
on a hard drive.
Yeah, I wanna steal from a big bank or like
I
a
have to
big
find their
institution.
hard drive first.
I don't want to like go to someone's house and like pilfer their safe. You know,
all right, here,
Yeah.
let me just
I
throw
want to
this
feel
out
good
there.
at the end of the day.
How about we don't rob with our time pausing thing? And hear me out.
Okay.
We
okay.
become the world's most rich and famous magician everywhere. No one can figure out how you do it. You're literally a magician, a
Yeah.
magic person,
Watch me grow a beard right now.
right? Like David Copperfield's probably pretty wealthy. You could go to
Yeah.
Vegas and you earn 30,000 a night for an hour.
There's a lot of skills you can pull off
100,000?
with
I don't
pausing
know.
Imagine
time.
being a surgeon, right? Because
I got
the faster
it.
you do a
I got
surgery,
it.
the less
I'm stupid.
likelihood of
I got
infection.
it.
You can just
Yes,
I got it.
That's not who I want.
I
to do
got
my
it
surgery.
now. I was stupid before. You're the greatest gambler of all time. You pause and look at everybody's cards.
that's it. I love it. I love it.
You're the, but because when you're the greatest gambler of all time, they constantly be going back at like how does he do it? The real
Seems to
problem
know.
would be that there's video footage of you at the table, and so you pause time, you get up, you go look at everybody's cards, you go back, sit at your table, and you try to sit just like you were, and then restart time again. And to maybe the guy next to you, it's imperceptible. You just shift a little. But to the camera, who knows what it sees? And everybody's cards have to be put back just so. Otherwise, they
Counterpoint.
shift.
We've been talking about pausing time, but we also threw out reversing time. You could gamble in the same way that Tom Cruise did End of Tomorrow, right? You just
No reversing time.
Reversing
We
time
can
is too
only
powerful.
pause.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause if
pausing, I was thinking the same
I
thing.
could beat
about
anyone in
Traceable.
poker if I got to play it again.
Look at their cards.
Well, you'd have to like there are markers on like a blackjack table, right? Like they have the little like squares where you put your cards and all that. You'd have to like come up with a position with like both of your hands in the exact same spot and then get up and then return to that exact position.
No, I'd put on one of those
Or take a
Arab
bathroom
garbs.
An Arab
Oh, you're in the
garb.
bathroom when you come back and look at everybody's cards, so that the cameras don't see
Yeah,
you.
they have no idea.
Oh,
I'm like,
crack the
brilliant.
code.
I need to get in on this
I gotta
hand
go
right just
pee in the
now.
middle of my.
Sorry.
Like you could
What-
cheat in
what?
other games too, like roulette or Keno or any of these ball or like random chance games. You could
Roulette
freeze
doesn't
time.
work
And just,
because
Yeah.
they
push it
once
Move
just
it,
a little.
slow it down.
there's a
you're
point in
right.
roulette where they stop the betting though, and the ball is still in motion when that
He's
happens.
pushing the ball.
Yeah, he's moving the ball.
Well, then the cameras catch like
Your
magic
little-
happening. A ball disappears and reappears, and they're like,
No,
"Look
no,
at
no,
this.
no, no.
Is this a
You
glitch?"
just
They're
give
like,
it
"It's
a
not
little,
a glitch. He did it
just a
20
little
times in a row."
touch, just a little gentle tap, so that when time resumes, it rolls from black to red, and you're
Kyle,
good.
it's just a
Well,
little
then he
tap.
create a black hole, and we all get sucked in. You can't move things.
All right, don't
You
create
can.
more lore. for
You would
this
be
retarded
applying
scenario.
kinetic energy, and when time resumes, it's
So you're
normal.
gonna
So
so you're gonna thump the ball and then immediately unpause, pause, so that it's in motion, I guess. And then this is no good. We still have no control over where the ball goes.
No. You
All
wait
you're-
until it's
yeah.
just about settled, when it's kind of like one or the other, and nobody really knows, and then you give it a really light little touch, and nobody.
What if we
would be
went
any wiser.
honest
Yeah.
again?
I
Remember
see
how
what you're saying,
Drifter
Drifter, I
said
agree.
you'd be a surgeon, but you'd be able to
Yeah.
perform like 90 surgeries in a day? What if you like did a really overpriced freight service? You know, like I can take your fucking oil tanker from Saudi Arabia to Louisiana in one night.
Now people are getting suspicious.
But you can.
Yeah. You
But
know,
Well,
you
it's not
can't.
one night for me, but it's one night for you, which is why I charge so much.
Well, you got to
But how
open
would
your teeth swimming.
But
Well,
but you
assume
still
I
have to
can't.
work for a living, basically. It is just at a higher rate.
Yes.
Like the best, like if you're gonna, like there's a million skills you can use.
Bro, I can pause time. Like we're gonna find a way to make this pay.
Like, you could be a great goalie in any sport.
Oh,
Because all you'd have to do is just
professional athlete.
like you just have to stutter
No.
step the pauses, like pause on pause on. And so like it's the soccer ball or the hockey puck or whatever is coming at you in super slow motion.
I've had this fantasy for 40 years.
Yes.
Could you also
That's what-
work, if you were fast enough, go full Dr. Manhattan and have sex with a woman, but swap positions like hyper fast so she feels like she's getting blown out all around?
You can
No,
do
he
whatever
created
you please,
multiples of himself. He like split.
True. But if you were fast enough at swapping, wouldn't it feel about the same?
Man. No, her pussy would just burst into flame when you unpause
Yeah.
time.
No.
It'd be too
all
much.
the friction all at once, just
Yeah. That canal wasn't
Yeah.
meant for that sort of damage.
Tell me that you run into two fucking like brothers in the Congo, two rival warlords. First one caught you, but then the other shows up, and he's even scared in the second one. He's Taylor, and he's got like a pet hyena, like on a leash. That's
Okay.
like fucking. It's huge. It looks like a 200-pound hyena, and I captured you, and I want to put you in my burning pits, which is what I do with my whites. And Taylor, on the other hand, Black Taylor, he wants to feed you to his crocodiles, his crocodilians. I would rather be taken by Taylor and thrown to the crocodilians because
Burning is not a way to go.
crocodiles have one job, and it's to kill things. And they don't always do it the quickest, I know.
Yeah,
but their
sometimes
main
very slow.
if you could get your head in their mouth, I feel like they'll do their best to wrench it off, tear your jugular somehow, maybe just outright break your neck, and hopefully they take you down in the water and just drown you. Okay, I know that sounds rough, but you haven't seen my burn pits. You just haven't seen them. There's a metal grate about 8
Kyle,
feet above
I have a
the
crucial
flames.
question on this.
Yeah, you
burn
just
pit?
dance down there, and then you
Now,
roast.
Do you know Game of
Your lungs
Thrones? They
roast.
burned that King Baratheon's daughter. I can't remember.
Daughter, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, they started that fire with her on the spike, which is a bad way to die. However, I might choose your burn pits over his crocodile pits if the fire's raging. This thing is a 25-foot tall bonfire, that might be the quicker death.
What about when they killed what's his name's daughter on Son of Anarchy? Remember?
I don't know it that
when they
well.
threw her in the pit.
Like a burn
Sons
pit?
of Anarchy.
You don't remember that?
Show.
Remember the weird,
Was
the
this
weird
very
looking guy
late?
who was attracted to the transvestite, and they were coming after him, and they caught his daughter, and they threw her in a pit, and they set her on fire. He's going, no.
So they threw in a hole and doused her with gasoline and set her on fire.
Did the good guys do this?
I do remember that. Bad guys did that. Two of the
That
good
seems
guys.
like a really bad guy thing to do.
Yeah, like that was a messed up way to go.
That sounds really judgy, Taylor.
Yeah. Burning alive would be terrible, but also like you are taking such a gamble with the crocodiles because
no, you're not.
You're
No,
thrown
not.
in the crocodile pit, and so where you get bitten is going to be decided by the crocodile, and they're gonna do what they do with antelopes. They're gonna latch onto your arm, and they're going to tear your arm off.
No,
just a thought. I
still
think
alive.
if you throw me in a crocodile pit,
that's not what
I've got
happen.
a 5% chance of getting out.
That's
You're goddamn right.
There's people on the.
It's
on the
better
outside
than that.
too. They kick you
Because
back
here's
in.
what I do. I let them know. Look, I'm hoping that these guys don't have cable. I go into a Steve Irwin impression. I let them know that I'm the crocodile hunter. And I do the whole bit. I steal his whole shtick. And I tell them, send me in there. And I mix it with Crocodile Dundee because they ain't seen that shit either. I tell them that I can make a croc hypnotized, take him under my control. You send me in there. When I come out, I'll have 8 battle crocs under my control, and I'll work for you, mate.
See, now he does Australian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we can do
I life's on the line. Of course I can.
I think every one of his Australian
What's a
accents
hyena?
might just be Mr. In Between.
It's just
It works for me.
all the
Wherever
African
you
people are
wanna
just
be.
going to be like, why is he talking different now than when he was begging for his life 3 minutes ago?
Where did his accent?
Well, it's because I'm having a stroke from high blood pressure, from stress, from about to
If you
being
remember
thrown into the
earlier,
crook.
you hit me in the head right here with that 9 iron, and I think it calls a hematoma. You don't know that word. It's a blood leak right here in my brain, and it's pressing on the silly part. So I think this is all a joke.
I don't think that just the impression is going to be enough. I think that like you actually have to know.
I beg them to.
I think you have to know like something about crocodiles or like, at least
I do though. So
more do
what
you
I'm
need?
asking is, they give me the chance, a fighting chance. I don't want them to like tie my hands behind my back. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Tie my hands behind my back and like shove me from like 20 feet up into a pool of crocs because it's death instantly. I want to say, send me in to do battle with them. Like, let me put on a show for you guys. Do you want to see a guy get eaten by crocodiles, or do you want to see a man fight crocodiles? I feel like I could talk him
That's
into
fair.
like giving me a chance to fight. The
Give me a
burn
kitchen
pit.
knife and I'll go
What are you
in.
gonna say?
Yes.
Like, could you douse me with that kerosene over there? No. Oh, you're gonna put water on me first. I see. You're gonna douse me in water before you throw me in the fire. You are. Oh God, why? Why? Is that fire
You're just
retardant
gonna-
gel? Are you putting
You're
it
just
everywhere
gonna-
but my dick?
you're just gonna die looking like an
Oh,
idiot.
how did you get so much movie grade fire retardant gel? Oh, it feels good, but I know what's coming next.
Yeah. Me, if you put it on my dick neck.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you could be fighting the crocodiles over here with a pool cue.
you get fucked up so bad by crocodiles. Like
I
there's
know, but I'm telling you, the alternative's so much worse, Taylor. There's not a third brother because you haven't stepped in and made a funny one yet.
well, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of how we'd actually survive this. I think
you
that
got to do
would
battle
be
with
good.
the crocodiles and fight for your life. I always see that in movies. That's what I always see. They're gonna like throw the hero in a volcano, and he's like, dude, why would you want to see a man thrown in a volcano? You know what's gonna happen? Nothing. I'm gone. how about you send me out in the jungle? Give me a 5-minute head start. Fuck, I'm naked. I'm bleeding. You guys are badasses. You come get me. Beat me to death. I'll
There
give a
you
little
go.
tussle. What do you get? A bloody lip? Yeah, spear me down like a man. Tell a story. You scout me, whatever. You could totally talk your way out of getting thrown into a volcano by that. If I'm a warrior and we're about to throw you in the volcano and you come up with that spiel, you could, if you call me a pussy, if you're like, God, you guys are pussies. There's 3 of you. You got
You don't want to
spears.
take me on?
Let's-
Come on.
What? You afraid to tussle with a muscle? Is that what this is about?
No, you know what?
I bet you've never seen a white man before, have you? Yeah, you're scared. You're scared, aren't you?
No, Kyle, my method is
embarrassing.
even
Good
is
thing
even
you're throwing
more.
me in there because I tell this story.
This is even more dangerous than the crocodile pit. You can burn alive. You can do the crocodile pit, or
Okay.
you can 5 minutes in the chimp closet.
I will never go in the chip closet.
Oh,
I would
You wouldn't go in the chimp closet.
I would. You wouldn't get me in there. I'd make you kill me before you got me in that chimp closet if I knew it existed. If you were like, all right, let's get him to the chimp closet, I'd be. We're gonna have to fight. You'll have to make me unconscious right here. Wake me up later and throw me in that chimp closet.
Yeah.
We're fighting right now as much as I can.
Oh yeah, the chimp closet would be a terrible way to go.
Yeah.
You'd like still be you'd be alive to experience having all of your fingers ripped off. You'd like
Yeah,
you die
your
with
nose
you die
and your
without
ears.
genitals. You've like watched him eat your balls and your dick.
Yep.
It's a
And
dark
he's
closet.
doing it. It's a dark closet.
They got him in there with like rock music and a fucking what are those lights that flash over and over?
That's
Strobe
light.
Like a strobe light. So he is pissed.
He's on an enormous amount of MDMA. the chimp is.
I drop in there and start vibing with him. Maybe
What's MDMA? I thought that made
and
you
then he
cuddly.
just tear my lips off.
Ecstasy. I don't think it would make
Yeah.
a chimp cuddly. I think it would.
I bet it would.
I choose to
bet it would
believe
I'd
get
rather get
riled
raped
up.
by a chimp
that they're all
than,
there
like,
in a big
murdered by
cuddle
one.
puddle. You
Okay,
just join
it's
in.
a coke chimp, and he's
No,
he's,
and
a
you want
PCP
to
chimp.
use amphetamines.
He just
like a
relapsed.
heavy dose of amphetamines would be a terrifying thing, and it would work. Like it would make a chimpanzee the scariest thing you could imagine.
Plot
A
twist:
fully
all the
enraged-
chimpanzees just catch up
because-
on their homework and organize their Spotify playlists
Yeah.
on the Adderall.
Yeah, they're talking to each other like, I can tear off twice as many fingers in the same amount of time.
You inject him with adrenaline and amphetamines. That would be, and then put armor on him, and
Jesus.
and then you parachute them into an enemy encampment.
There you go.
Ooh, I don't even think you need armor on a chimp.
That's true too, and they weren't trying to be affordable. And I watched Graham Hancock was on Rogan this week, and I love Graham Hancock. And
What does he
they
do? I don't know him. Is he a scientist?
he's a writer. He's this British writer. He was the one who wrote about that Younger Dryas event where the comet hit Earth 12,000 years ago or something like that, and we had that, and it brought us out of the last ice age. And he thinks that it's there was a somewhat advanced civilization back in that period of time that was wiped out by
12,000 years
not-
ago.
Yeah, that was wiped out by that event, and he thinks that's also why like so many cultures from around the world have the stories of the global flood, because he thinks that the impacts that came from this comet strike melted a lot of glaciers, like flash melted them and flooded a lot of the Earth and completely brought us out of that ice
Did
age.
they say like where they think the old civilizations were?
Yeah,
That's
in
interesting. I've never heard that.
Yeah. Oh, you don't know about this? Oh, it's really interesting.
No.
There's this site in Turkey, whose name is very difficult to pronounce, where they have these giant megalithic structures, and tooled technology that would have been used to create them. And like modern archaeology states that the people that were alive at that time were like hunter gatherers, but these were clearly created during that time period and by a civilization that must have had organized labor, which is a thing that modern archaeology doesn't think happened until much later on. But it would have you would have had to have like skilled craftsmen who are spending their time learning a craft and practicing that craft, not foraging for food. There would have had to have been another class of people foraging for food for them.
Would it be close to Göbekli Tepe?
Yeah, you actually got real close. It's like yeah, it's hard. Göbekli
Yeah.
Tepe or something like that. That's the site. Yeah. But he wasn't talking about that so much this week. He was talking about the Americas and some of the stuff they found in the Amazon rainforest, where they found evidence of irrigation and stuff like that in the Amazonian rainforest. Really cool stuff. I forgot where I was going with this. I thought it
You
related
enjoyed
to our
him, I
last
think,
topic.
on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, I'm trying to think one of the things he spoke about that sort of related to our last maybe Elon Musk topic, but regardless, he's got a new book out.
Maybe
Chiz
the
bought
space
book.
travel aspect of it was where it tied in. No, I'm just trying to
yeah,
throw
because
clues
he was
out.
talking about
Okay.
the technology to prevent a future asteroid collision, and how one of the things that's important for that is for private industry to move forward with their plans to mine asteroids, because that's the same tech. If they can make that technology profitable, then we'll have that resource to potentially like nudge an asteroid out of our path. Because
If you're mining asteroids, you might be putting them in orbit or something.
that'd be cool. That's
Right?
that would be. I don't know if that's possible. I don't even know if that's safe. Like, is that the? I wouldn't trust GE to do that. Would you? Like if I heard like so General Electric has brought a 8-kilometer asteroid, mostly composed of titanium and rare earth elements. Not on Earth though, is it? Into our close Earth orbit. If you look into the northern skies early in the evening, you can see it. And what if they miscalculate and it fucking falls into the Pacific Ocean? Well, no more Californians.
I hear you. I wonder how. I don't know. I really don't have a good grip on Earth's atmosphere's ability to burn things. Like, I know that it burns most stuff, right? Things are hitting us all the time and they never land. If you wanted to get rid of a satellite, just nudge it towards Earth. It burns up, doesn't hit the ground. Everything's fine. How far does that extend? Does that reach mineable asteroids?
No, it doesn't. That stuff that's several hundred meters big, that stuff makes it through. Like you see those a lot collide. Like if it's starting, I think when it enters the Earth, I don't know what the exact numbers are, but roughly speaking, if it enters the atmosphere and it's 100 meters, it's gonna hit. Now that's not a world-ending type thing, but something that's 1 kilometer, I think that destroys an entire city. Like that's London gone.
No, that would like destroy so much more than the entire city, right? Because when you get to a critical mass, it's not so much the initial impact, it's the seismic fallout and then like the dust clouds and things that ruin environments. Am I talking out my ass? Does that sound right?
I know I would be if I were talking now. That's
well, here we are. I was just reading about Go Gepley Bepley or whatever the fuck that is.
Go Blecky Techie or something.
I'm
like
going to
that,
start reading. This is so fascinating.
Get the
I had
book,
no
dude.
idea.
I've got the book on. I got it from Audible. All right.
Oh,
and
go to Audible and get it.
the cool. So Graham Hancock is he's got a nice reading voice and he's very passionate about this. He's traveled the world. So one of the things is like a lot of the stuff that he talks about. Modern archaeologists has really shit on this guy for a long time until slowly they found more and more evidence to support his theories. They found the asteroid craters. They found the sites like the one in Turkey, and so he's very passionate about this. But he's been getting shat on his entire career until like the last 5 years or something like that. And so hearing him read this stuff is great. Chiz just got his newest book, and I think it focuses more on the Americas, and he believes that there were humans in the Americas 130,000 years ago. It's very interesting stuff. I really like the guy.
I have asteroid stats. So an asteroid the size of a car would burn up and it's not a problem. An asteroid the size of a house would flatten most buildings within 1.5 miles of ground zero. So I would have thought a house-sized asteroid would be not a big deal. That may burn up, but I don't know. An asteroid the size of a 20-story building would leave a wake the size of Paris, and if it's a football field, you'll feel it 1,000 miles away. 7.7 magnitude earthquake. I mean to say, and a half mile would be a global problem.
Yeah,
so I would think that you wouldn't mine anything less than a football field, right? And that's real dangerous.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so. Are you familiar with the Tunguska event?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I just saw it. It's like 1908 or something like that.
Yeah.
No, me too. I'm also familiar with this.
So the Tunguska event, this asteroid struck Siberia in like early 1908, and it was sort of, no one knew about it because Siberia is a gargantuan, unpopulated area.
Tuskegee experiments.
No, that's different. That's when they came up with that harebrained idea of putting a black man in an aeroplane.
The Manhattan Project.
It'll never work.
Manhattan Project. That's close.
Grease everywhere. So
let's name
Tunguska
experiments
event,
that we're familiar with. No, sorry.
The Tunguska event is where this asteroid struck Siberia in 1908, and it flattened a gargantuan area. It did this thing called airburst. It didn't strike the ground. It blew up in the atmosphere. Like it was coming in. It got so hot. It didn't. I don't understand the physics behind this sort of thing, but it went boom, and it went boom like a big nuclear weapon, and it flattened this enormous area. And when I say flattened, I mean
770 square miles
of trees laid over flat, and nobody knew about it because there weren't any fucking people out there. And it wasn't until like there's pictures of it. They figured, a bunch of people went deaf and shit, and their windows.
So it made sound.
It was very loud.
The trees fell over, and it made sound. No one was there. All right.
Yeah, I see. I got you now. Yeah. But something like that had happened over, a major city. It's gone. It's gonna happen one of these days, and it's gonna be disaster porn. It's gonna be the worst thing we've ever seen in our lifetimes. 100%. Like that. The biggest disaster I think in my lifetime was the tsunami in like 2004. That hit.
Was it that long
Indonesia?
ago?
I think it was, and it hit into the Indonesian tsunami. My guess is it's 2004.
Okay.
Because I want to say I was in high school when it happened. I think.
I want to talk. I'm not sure
that
if
killed
I'm on
like
the
a
same
quarter
one. I
million.
thought I was on YouTube when it happened.
Well, there was another one
Uh-huh.
later on, whose date I'm not sure about at all. Maybe 2010. There was another tsunami.
2004 is the one you're referring to, yeah.